$130 million Green Enterprise Center commissioned, and JetBlue prepares to take to local skies. Welcome to InfoHub. It's Friday, February 7, 23 days to go before general and regional elections, and 17 days to our Golden Jubilee Republic anniversary. Thanks for joining us. Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu officially commissioned the $130 million Green Enterprise Center in Bina Hill, Anai today. Sonika Thorne was there and filed this report.
Hundreds of North Rubununi residents gathered today at Bina Hill to witness the commissioning of the first Hinterland Technical Institute, which has the capacity to accommodate 120 students. The $130 million Hinterland Green Enterprise Center is located in the same compound as the Bina Hill Youth Learning Center in Anai Region 9. It has 8 classrooms, a modern computer and science lab, a large auditorium, and a lecture room. Delivering the feature address, Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu said the institute will address the high demands for skills training in the hinterland while simultaneously promoting training that is aligned with the path of sustainable development.
This center is going to learn from the Amerindian ways, from their traditional education, and will fashion an education among the children of indigenous people that will be relevant, that will be necessary and needed to keep our natural resources as they should be kept protected.
Minister of Indigenous Peoples Affairs, the Honorable Sidney Hollycock, is one of the pioneers of the Technical Institute. He said that the institution represents the actualization of a collective dream of the indigenous peoples.
Your government remains committed to supporting the access of education for every young person, even we the older ones, because we could still learn. It is a hope that this Green Center, much like the Bina Hill Institution, will serve as a beacon and pilot for the more institutions such as these to be placed in the key areas across our dear land of Guyana.
According to Minister of Education, the Honorable Dr. Nicolette Henry, the commissioning is a coming of age of the Green Movement, an expansion of the nation's education system.
This commissioning today is a powerful testament of the fact that the Green Agenda is no longer a sideshow in our hinterland education program. And that is why the work you are doing here at this institute is lending support to an inclusive and prosperous Guyana.
Also delivering remarks was Minister of Public Telecommunication, the Honorable Catherine Hughes, who noted that the new addition at the Bina Hill Youth Learning Center is an important aspect of President David Granger's vision of linking the hinterland with the coastland. At today's event, over $9 million in grants were handed over to 6 villages for community economic projects. 8 students of the Anai Secondary School also received bicycles in keeping with President David Granger's 5B program. Sonika Thorne, InfoHub.
The Guyana Elections Commission, GCOM, has confirmed that ballot papers for the March 2 general and regional elections have arrived in the country. According to GCOM, the ballot papers arrived from Canada early this morning at the Chedijagan International Airport and were taken to the Elections Commission under heavy police security. Currently, political parties are campaigning for the elections. 9 parties will be contesting the general and regional elections, whilst 2 will be seeking support at the regional level only. JetBlue is set to take to Guyana skies in the next 2 to 3 weeks as the Guyana Civil Aviation Authority continues its assessment of the airline's readiness to serve the JFK New York to Georgetown route.
Leading a contingent to Guyana on January 28th was JetBlue's Director of Aircraft Transactions and International Counsel, Adam Schless, who outlined the airline's long-term vision and plans for the Guyana market to the Guyana Civil Aviation Authority, GCAA. In a recent press release, GCAA disclosed that it is conducting a safety, security, and economic fitness assessment on the airline as part of the requirements by the aviation regulatory body. JetBlue will operate non-stop flights between the Chedijagan International Airport, CJIA, and New York's JFK Airport. The inaugural flight will commence on Thursday, April 2nd with the airline's new A321neo aircraft capable of transporting 200 passengers. The aircraft features comfortable seats and entertainment screens for each passenger, the only airline in the US to offer such an option. JetBlue travels to many Caribbean countries, including Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, Barbados, and the Bahamas. Earlier this week, Eastern Airlines held an information session in Georgetown as it readies for first flight on the JFK to CJIA route. That inaugural flight will take place on March 5th. As of 2019, GCAA signed 18 air services agreements, ASA, with countries interested in tapping into Guyana's aviation market. This uptick in ASAs is as a result of the expanding aviation sector that is mostly attributed to the growing oil and gas industry. Shaquille Bourne for InfoHub.
Holding true to his commitment of restoring local democracy, His Excellency President David Granger over the last 4 years established 4 new towns. They include Bartica, Lethim, Mabaruma, and Mahdia. The new towns have become the hub of economic development in the hinterland regions they represent. President Granger believes that every region must have a capital town to drive local economic empowerment.
The University of Guyana, in collaboration with the Lands and Surveys Commission, has begun a Diploma in Land Valuation program at the institution.
The launch of the program makes the university only the second in the Caribbean to offer the diploma aside from the University of the West Indies, UWI. Delivering the keynote address at the opening, Minister of State the Honorable Don Hastings Williams said land plays a crucial role in human activity. Therefore, it is necessary to improve the country's land administration and management systems.
Valuation is a critical pillar in effective land administration. It is the basis of negotiation between buyers and sellers for land rent, land taxation, compensations, mortgages, secured borrowing, future investment, land use planning, and identifying the value of an organization's assets.
Commissioner of the Guyana Lands and Surveys Commission, Trevor Ben, noted the importance of the course because properties in Guyana has not been revalued since the mid-1990s.
This program is extremely important to help us as a country to be able to fill that vacuum and to be able to allow the country to earn its full and right share of revenues from properties in the country. We have to be able to oversee our nation's patrimony in a way that brings good value to the people of Guyana.
The Diploma in Valuation course will come under the Faculty of Earth and Environmental Sciences and will run for 18 months, beginning with 30 students. Isaiah Braffett for InfoHub.
When the news returns, 40 adolescent mothers graduate reintegration program and East Bank residents commend progress over the last 4 years. Details of these stories and more after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. Hope was restored and enthusiasm reborn as 40 teenage mothers graduated from the Ministry of Education's Reintegration of Adolescent Mothers program in Region 6. More in this report.
The program that is facilitated by the Ministry's Health and Family Life Education certified the 40 mothers in hair braiding, makeup, manicure and pedicure, nail art and henna designs.
I feel great that I have the opportunity. Now I could do my own business. I want to thank the government for making me somebody today, and more, I will continue to work harder on it.
That was makeup artist graduate Davy Hottie. Her colleague, 18-year-old Anisha Grand, explained to InfoHub that she left school at age 15 and faced several challenges, which have finally come to an end thanks to the program.
It was real rough because in them time when we went out to school, you didn't get the opportunity to go back in school. So now they're providing this program, so it's glad to just take part and learning something and making something out for yourself.
Minister of Education, Dr. Honorable Nicolette Henry, who delivered the charge to the graduates, noted that it was the duty of the administrators of education to ensure teen mothers are given an opportunity to continue their schooling.
The reintegration of adolescent mothers into the school system is necessary in order for all young girls to enjoy their right to an education, which will provide them with the foundation to improve their lives and the lives of their children.
Each graduate received a certificate as well as a startup kit for their respective field of specialization and a care package. The Ministry of Education implemented the reintegration program 2 years ago to give teenage mothers a second opportunity to gain an education and become employable. For InfoHub, Ayana George.
Recognizing that land allocation alone could not adequately meet the housing demands of citizens, the coalition government, through the Central Housing and Planning Authority, constructed over 280 homes. These included elevated, two-storied, flat and low-income duplexes. Also made available were single, elevated, single, flat, 2 and 3-bedroom homes. Families are now comfortably occupying their new homes at Undernaming on the west bank of Demerara, Perseverance and Prospect on the east bank, Hope Experiment on the west coast of Berbice, and Amelia's Ward in Linden. The coalition government came in from much commendation amongst residents on the east bank of Demerara for delivering on their promises over the last 4 years.
Speaking to InfoHub at a rally held in Diamond Housing Scheme, residents expressed their satisfaction with the work the government has done since assuming office. Varun Mahadio and Latoya Anderson, two East Bank of Demerara youth, told InfoHub how the coalition has transformed their lives during their time in office.
Overall, in 4 years, 4.5 years to 5 years, the government did exceptional well when it comes to so many different things. We have touched to our public servants. Prior to 2015, public servants had $39,000 something, and now they're actually earning $70,000 plus. That is a whole big deal, especially for people like the sweeper cleaners who doesn't have a qualification, can actually go out there, sweep their schools and earn the money with pride. So that is a major thing, a major accomplishment, a matter of fact, for this government. Leaving out that, one of the major achievements for this government for me as a young person is if we restore a local democracy. And we can see in the local government organ where we have so many young people. That means you're actually giving governance to young people. They're able to make decisions in the local level, in the community level. And that is a very big achievement and development in the whole country.
My community now, from back then to now, my community is looking very good because we have a better road, but what we need is a better drainage. But everything else is okay because we have a lot of street lights and those things, and we don't have to worry about being robbed anymore.
The older folk also shared their appreciation for the much-needed changes that were made.
I'm feeling great. I'm supporting the coalition 100% because for the future development that they are doing into the country. We recently had some good intervention in our village, all the way on the East Bank, that's supply, where we talked to one of the ministers, and eventually we get help because there were some people there that never had electricity, never water for the past 25 plus years. And the coalition government, through the Minister Brooms, make it a success for us.
For the last 4 years, I see progress, a lot of progress with this government.
These are just a few of many testimonies of confidence in the coalition administration. Leticia Isaacs, for InfoHub.
If you're wondering which band to join this march, check out Maxie Williams' costume band, which will be spotlighting the important features of Guyana's cultural melting pot.
Known for his innovative costume designs that caused quite a stir, Maxie Williams says to celebrate the country's 50th Republican status this year, he's focusing on those aspects that makes Guyana unique.
We also want to showcase our 5 races, but in the highest level of culture, in the highest and the most richest way possible, so that we can show our 6 people working together as a Guyana together in love and unity.
As he and his team work busily to finish designing the costumes for his band, Maxie recalls his inspiration for the art form, which was nurtured from a young age.
When I could remember back in the days when they would have costume, I was a little child, and all these big beautiful costumes would be coming down the road. It is in my dream to always create a really massive float, or what should we say, a king costume or a queen costume, so that they can inspire other kids the way I was inspired. And I'm really glad that this year, after a lot of hard work putting into it, that I would be now going as a king. I'm the king of the Golden Jubilee, and I'm a band of about 50 persons. We're hoping to have about 50 revelers, showcasing the proud national colors.
It would be remiss of us not to try to get a sneak peek of Maxi's 2020 King of the Band costume. However, the surprise is carefully guarded, only to be revealed on February 20th at the Night of the Kings and Queens at Durban Park. For those interested in joining Maxi's costume band, sign up will be available at the Department of Culture's Mashamani Village 592 Fete, which is set to commence from February 13th to the 18th. Neola Damon, InfoHub.
As we prepare for Elections Day on March 2, if you haven't done so yet, check to ensure that your name is on the revised list of electors. Voting is your democratic right. That's all for today. Connect with us on our social media platforms, including WhatsApp, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Much more news is on our website, dpi.gov.gy. Your region weather reports are up next. Goodbye for now.